To find an ideal partner is a real challenge both for people and for animals too. And the way men and women meet and interact with each other is determined by thousands and millions of years of evolution. We are animals too, and sometimes it is very interesting to watch how the relationships in animal pairs resemble the relationships in our human world. So, in this video, we want to show you several fascinating examples of a love life in the wild. Let's see that animals, like people, find intriguing strategies to build romantic relationships. Forever love of lovebirds. Love is always in the air when we are talking about lovebirds. They have a relationship that almost every woman dreams about, now and forever with her beloved man. Yes, these birds are monogamous. Mating begins with very cute courtship behavior and can go on throughout their roughly 15-year lifespans. And it is a real tragedy if a mate loses its pair. The bird gets into the condition, which is much like depression that we have in the same situation. Lovebirds are very tender to each other. For example, they have a tradition to feed its partner, especially after a long separation. One bird transfers food to the mouth of its mate. Just we sometimes do to express our affection during the date with a person we love. Long-distance penguin relationships. Are you a kind of person who doesn't mind having a long-distance relationships? If yes, you should know that southern rockhopper penguins also have to spend a lot of time separately and meet very rare. These birds actually engage in long-distance relationships with its mate, spending most of the year away and going back to the same mate to make babies. When the penguins return home, they actually manage to find each other and mate among thousands of birds. From the time the eggs are laid, parents take turns standing over them while the other parent goes out to the sea to find food. They swim up to 100 miles a day in search of the fish and squid they feed on. You know that sometimes people also live separately for a long period of time because of work or study. And penguin pairs are a good example of creating a strong bond between living beings in such conditions. The complicated love life of pandas. Giant pandas are very cute creatures that are noticed just lie around, eat, and sometimes play. And it is one of the great problems of these species because with all that stuff, panda bears have very low sex drive. And of course, the world's giant panda population is disturbingly small because of it. But the reason is very unusual. The case is that giant pandas have the digestive system of a carnivore, having the feeding habits of an herbivore. So, they have to eat a lot of bamboo to support their existence. That's why they are exceptionally lazy and spend a lot of their time lolling around. In this condition, they don't feel interest in sex almost at all. Sometimes we hear people complaining for their mate's laziness and indifference to some romantic or sex intercourse. May some humans be like pandas? We have a lot of sitting around in the modern, first world lifestyle, working on computers, gaming, watching TV. And sometimes it is not very good for our relationships. Impress as many as possible. If you think that the majority of birds are monogamous, it is not so. Some of them don't bother themselves with long-time relationships. Instead, males try to impress females with extraordinary songs and looks and make pairs with as many as possible. Look at a wood grouse. This bird tries to attract females using this strategy. When a wood grouse starts a process called lekking, it gets switched off completely. It means that the bird doesn't hear anything, and sometimes hardly sees anything. A wood grouse sits on the ground or in the trees with its head thrown back and sings. Having gone into ecstasy, the males can be an easy target for hunters in this period. As for hens, they come closer and choose the singers they like. The males have great number of mating pairs during the lekking season, but they don't help with racing chicks at all. Sometimes even men behave in the way which is very much alike. They do their best to impress as much girls as possible and then disappear. Only the queen makes love. There is only one bee that has sex regularly, as she is the only one to lay eggs. And it is a very serious and hard mission because during the busiest summer months, the queen lays up to 2,500 eggs per day. Male bees differ from working bees. They have bigger eyes, lack stingers and body parts to collect pollen or nectar. So, their only role in business is mating. The queen has a date with a drone in the air. Afterwards, the male bee loses his reproductive organs and ends its life. Fortunately, in our society, we don't have such rough examples of building relationships in human society. But there is one unusual tribe in Africa. The Touareg are an Islamic African people and quasi-nomadic tribe. But they are a bit far away from being orthodox practitioners of Islam. The thing is, women play much more important role in the society than men. Women have more privileges in all spheres of life. For example, they choose husbands by themselves. And it is the men, not women, who have to wear a hijab. They think that the mother of their tribe is half-legendary queen Teen Henan that lived in the 4th century. Inseparable love. Do you dream to be inseparable with your partner? Just look at the way Mother Nature thinks it should be. Anglerfish are astonishing creatures that if meet, never break up. When they mate, they literally melt in each other and share their bodies forever. What does it mean? A female can be 60 times bigger than a male, and it is the ideal size for the phenomenon called sexual parasitism. Males spend their lives looking for females because they can't survive without them. When a male finds his pair, he latches on and fuses to her, losing his internal organs until they share a bloodstream. So, the males become the internal resource of sex and sperm for the female, and the females are internal resource of food. Isn't it cute? We think not, but it's a very effective strategy to reproduce under 3,000 feet below sea level. Only women decide. Frankly speaking, being a male in hyena's world is not really a happy life. Being little cubs, they have all they need to have: tasty food, sleeping spots, and so on. But only because their moms are near them. Females rule in hyena society. When male cubs grow up, females send them away and they have to look for the new place to live. Entering a clan is a great challenge, becoming the lowest ranking hyena in the pack. But to become equal to even the lowest ranked female hyena is completely impossible. This is the law of female-dominated hierarchy, and the females are very cruel to males. Usually, poor things end up covered with scars and injuries because of harassment and haze. There are some matriarchate societies in human world, but women are not so tough there. For example, distinctive Kalash people live in Pakistan. They differ greatly with their appearance and way of living from other peoples there. They are generally blonde and have blue eyes. But the main difference is that they are ruled by women. A woman decides everything. Choose her husband by herself. And if one is not cool enough, she kicks him away. It doesn't matter who you are. Dolphins are the animals with a very complicated brain and behavior. And they have one very special trait that makes them resemble us. Scientists found out that dolphins enter into relations not only to reproduce. They also do this just to have pleasure and fun. Dolphins grow up completely when they are about 6 years old. Living no more than 30 years, they can have sex during 15 of them. Females give birth 8 to 10 babies at best, no matter how often they have sexual intercourse. And they have it all the time. For dolphins, relationships are just a game without any taboos. Males can hang around several females at the same time and make love to all of them one after another. Young males even have sexual relationships with each other just for fun. Dolphins are like groups of internal students with a lot of parties, dancing, and having great number of sexual affairs. older women are preferable. Do you know what it means to become a very popular chimpanzee girl? Chimpanzees don't make pairs, and it is the male who chooses what female will get his love and resources. That's why in chimpanzee society there is extreme competition among females for alpha male's attention. And all you need to become the most popular girl is to become an old chimp with a lot of children. Female chimps don't have a menopause, which means their fertility is not limited by age. So, male chimps might not care about the age of a mate. They approached older females more often for sex, and preferred clustering around older females that are always ready. They do this because age and number of children means great amount of experience in raising them. Though, in human society, men often prefer young women. Some representatives of our species still prefer a mate that much older. Remember Emmanuel Macron, the president of France. His first lady, Brigitte Macron, is 25 years his senior. This is the end of our list. We hope you enjoyed the video. Let us know, what relationships were the most interesting for you? Do you know any other examples of some special love relationships between animals? Put your comments below this video.